What if the faces you've trusted on screen for decades weren't entirely real? From subtle tweaks to shocking transformations, some of Hollywood's biggest stars have secrets that completely changed how we see them. Many longtime fans struggle to tell what's natural and what's carefully enhanced, and that mystery only grows over time. Tell me, how do you feel about your favorite star's fame and image? In this video, you'll uncover 35 celebrity plastic surgery stories that stun the world, spot hidden changes, and reveal the truth behind the most talked-about transformations. Leave a comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Jessica Alves has become one of the most talked about and controversial figures in modern discussions about cosmetic surgery. Once widely known as the human Ken doll, she later came out as transgender and embraced her identity as Jessica, often described by the media as a real-life Barbie. Her story goes far beyond a simple transformation. It reflects a relentless pursuit of physical perfection that gradually began to shape every aspect of her life. Over more than a decade, Jessica has undergone well over 100 cosmetic procedures. These include multiple rhinoplasties, jaw reconstruction, cheek and chin implants, lip fillers, and extensive body contouring. As a result, her original appearance has been almost entirely altered. In the early years, public reactions were mixed, but often sympathetic. Many Mardik admired her courage to live authentically and pursue happiness on her own terms. However, as the number of surgeries increased and complications began to surface, admiration slowly turned into concern. Friends, medical professionals, and viewers alike started questioning whether this was still self-expression or something closer to an addiction to surgery. Her appearance has changed so dramatically that some observers describe it as increasingly artificial. Yet perhaps the most troubling aspect of Jessica's journey is not her physical transformation, but what lies beneath it. Despite global attention and media fame, there are ongoing questions about whether she has truly found peace or lasting fulfillment. Jedlica is widely recognized as the world's most famous human Ken doll. Over the years, he has openly documented his extraordinary transformation, undergoing hundreds of cosmetic procedures in pursuit of what he considers the ideal human form. His body has been meticulously reshaped through implants and surgical enhancements. Unlike many who turn to cosmetic surgery to correct perceived flaws, Justin approaches transformation as a form of artistic expression. For him, beauty is not about meeting societal expectations. It is about control, design, and personal autonomy. His arms, chest, calves, and facial features have all been sculpted to reflect a vision uniquely his own. He has even described the human body as a medium, no different from marble or clay, to be shaped according to one's imagination. However, this extreme approach has sparked serious debate. Critics argue that such extensive modifications risk crossing the line between self-expression and self-destruction. In a culture already shaped by often unattainable beauty standards, some worry that Justin's example may reinforce the idea that the natural body is never enough. Others raise concerns about the long-term medical risks associated with repeated procedures. Yet supporters see something entirely different. They view Justin as a man who is unapologetically honest about his choices, someone exercising personal freedom without shame or secrecy. His story continues to challenge conventional ideas about identity, beauty, and the limits of self-transformation. Martina Big is often regarded as one of the most polarizing figures in the world of extreme body modification. Born in Germany, she once lived a relatively conventional life, working as a flight attendant before transitioning into modeling. In an industry driven by attention and shock value, Martina began transforming her appearance in increasingly dramatic ways. Her journey started with breast augmentation using custom saline implants, eventually reaching an extraordinarily large size, reportedly among the largest in Europe. Yet her physical transformation did not stop there. Around 2017, Martina drew international attention after using melanotan, a synthetic peptide associated with skin darkening. Over time, her skin tone became significantly darker, and she publicly claimed that she identified as a black woman. Martina further stated that she intended to alter her facial features through cosmetic procedures to align with what she described as African traits. These claims quickly sparked widespread backlash. Critics argued that racial identity cannot be reduced to physical appearance, emphasizing that black identity is deeply rooted in history, culture, and lived experience, not something that can be achieved through injections or surgery. Many viewed her statements as offensive and an example of cultural appropriation. Despite the criticism, Martina has consistently rejected these accusations, insisting that her transformation reflects her genuine sense of self. Her story continues to ignite intense debate, raising difficult questions about identity, personal freedom, and the ethical boundaries of extreme transformation. Bryan never imagined that a routine cosmetic treatment would permanently alter the course of her life. In 2009, she was a confident, outgoing woman simply hoping to achieve a modest facial refresh. Like many others, Carol believed dermal fillers were a safe and common way to maintain a youthful appearance. Instead, the procedure led to a devastating medical crisis that left her disfigured and blind in one eye. Shortly after the injections, her face began to swell in ways that were far from normal. What was initially dismissed as a mild reaction quickly escalated into severe deformity. The filler, later believed to involve non-approved or improperly administered substances, possibly including silicone, migrated and hardened within her tissues. As pressure built, it caused irreversible damage to her optic nerve, ultimately resulting in the loss of vision on one side. Overwhelmed by trauma and shame, Carol withdrew from public life. For years, she avoided social interaction and even distanced herself from close family members. The turning point came through her daughter's persistence and refusal to give up hope. After an exhaustive search, they found help at UCLA Medical Center, where surgeons agreed to take on her highly complex case. Through multiple operations, including a 16-hour reconstructive surgery using tissue from her back, doctors worked to restore both function and dignity. Today, Bryan is more than a survivor. She is a powerful advocate for patient safety, traveling across the country to share her story and remind others that cosmetic procedures are still medical procedures, and the risks are very real. Raji Narina Singh is an actress, author, and transgender advocate whose life story reflects both remarkable courage and profound hardship. After years of internal struggle, she made the decision to live openly as her true self. Like many transgender women, Raji hoped facial feminization procedures would help her feel more comfortable and aligned with her identity. However, the high cost of legitimate medical care placed those goals out of reach. In search of a more affordable option, she turned to O'Neill Ron Morris, an unlicensed individual posing as a medical professional. What followed was a devastating betrayal. Morris injected Raji's face with a hazardous mixture of industrial substances, including materials later reported to involve cement-like compounds and mineral oil, none of which were safe for medical use. The consequences were immediate and severe. Raji's face swelled dramatically, becoming disfigured in ways that left her feeling ashamed and frightened. She withdrew from public life, hiding behind wigs, heavy makeup, and isolation. For a time, it seemed as though her voice and her confidence had been taken from her. Eventually, Raji found the strength to speak out. Her appearance on the television show Botched marked a turning point, as qualified surgeons were able to remove some of the harmful material and begin restoring her appearance. More importantly, the experience helped her reclaim her voice. Today, Raji Narina Singh uses her story to warn others about the dangers of unlicensed procedures, reminding the public that desperation combined with exploitation can lead to lifelong consequences. Sahar Tabar, a young woman from Iran, has garnered international attention through a series of shocking and disturbing images that quickly spread on social media. Her appearance, often described as an extreme, almost zombie-like version of Angelina Jolie, has sparked widespread curiosity, ridicule, and misunderstanding. With sunken cheeks, overfilled lips, and a sharply sculpted nose, Sahar was quickly labeled an example of cosmetic obsession taken too far. However, the truth behind her transformation is far more complex than what initial media reports suggest. While she admits to having undergone some cosmetic procedures, much of her dramatic look is created through heavy makeup, prosthetics, strategic lighting, and digital editing tools like Photoshop. This illusion was deliberate, designed to attract attention and spread rapidly in the increasingly competitive online space. Even so, public perception often blurs the lines between reality and performance. In 2019, Sahar was arrested by Iranian authorities. It's important to note that her arrest wasn't for plastic surgery, but for charges related to blasphemy and allegedly promoting immoral behavior on social media. After a period of detention, she was eventually released. Her story is not just about physical beauty, but also about the risks of online fame. It highlights how the pursuit of online recognition can distort identity and reality itself. For many observers, especially in an age of retouched images and constructed images, Sahar Tabar's experience is a cautionary tale about how easily illusion can be mistaken for truth. Pixie Fox is a figure who seems to blur the line between fantasy and reality. Inspired by animated heroines and comic book aesthetics, she set out on a highly unusual journey to transform herself into what she calls a living cartoon character. For Pixie, conventional beauty was never the goal. Instead, she pursued exaggerated proportions that mirror stylized, fictional figures. Over the years, she has undergone numerous procedures, including lip enhancements, facial surgeries, breast augmentation, and most notably, extreme waist reduction. She has claimed to have had 6 ribs removed to achieve an exceptionally small waist, an assertion that has drawn both fascination and skepticism from medical professionals and the public alike. Seeing such cartoon-like proportions on a real human body challenges deeply rooted ideas about anatomy and physical limits. Critics often question the safety and long-term impact of these procedures, particularly those that push beyond typical medical norms. Yet Pixie maintains that her appearance is a form of personal artistic expression, not a plea for validation or acceptance. Maintaining such an extreme look requires continuous effort, discipline, and physical endurance. Behind the striking visuals lies a lifestyle that demands constant upkeep and resilience. Her story raises broader questions that extend beyond aesthetics. Where does personal freedom end, and where do societal concerns begin? In the end, Pixie Fox's transformation is not just about appearance. It reflects a deeper conversation about identity, creativity, and the boundaries individuals are willing to explore in pursuit of their ideal self. Jessica Alves has become one of the most talked about and controversial figures in modern discussions about cosmetic surgery. Once widely known as the human Ken doll, she later came out as transgender and embraced her identity as Jessica, often described by the media as a real-life Barbie. Her story goes far beyond a simple transformation. It reflects a relentless pursuit of physical perfection that gradually began to shape every aspect of her life. Over more than a decade, Jessica has undergone well over 100 cosmetic procedures. These include multiple rhinoplasties, jaw reconstruction, cheek and chin implants, lip fillers, and extensive body contouring. As a result, her original appearance has been almost entirely altered. In the early years, public reactions were mixed, but often sympathetic. Many Mardik admired her courage to live authentically and pursue happiness on her own terms. However, as the number of surgeries increased and complications began to surface, admiration slowly turned into concern. Friends, medical professionals, and viewers alike started questioning whether this was still self-expression or something closer to an addiction to surgery. Her appearance has changed so dramatically that some observers describe it as increasingly artificial. Yet perhaps the most troubling aspect of Jessica's journey is not her physical transformation, but what lies beneath it. Despite global attention and media fame, there are ongoing questions about whether she has truly found peace or lasting fulfillment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. See you in the next one.